And it reads, Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Amen. For all those who know me or have heard me speak before, you all know I love to give a story to help encourage those I'm speaking to or to help them better understand the word. Today's story is the one of Abraham and his son Isaac. I'm going to turn to Genesis 22. I'll be reading from a better understood, translated version. And it reads, After these things, God decided to test Abraham's faith. God said to him, Abraham, and he said, Yes. Then God said, Take your son to the land of Moriah and kill your son there as a sacrifice for me. This must be Isaac, your only son, the one you love. Use him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains there. I will tell you which mountain. In the morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took Isaac and two servants with him. He cut the wood for the sacrifice. Then they went to the place where God told them to go. After they traveled 3 days, Abraham looked up, and in the distance he saw the place where they were going. Then he said to his servants, Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go to that place and worship. Then we will come back to you later. Abraham took the wood for the sacrifice and put it on his son's shoulder. Abraham took the special knife and fire. Then both he and his son went together to the place for worship. Isaac said to his father Abraham, Father. Abraham answered, Yes, son. Isaac said, I see the wood and the fire, but where is the lamb we will burn as a sacrifice? Abraham answered, God himself is providing the lamb for the sacrifice, my son. So both Abraham and his son went together to that place. When they came to the place where God told them to go, Abraham built an altar. He carefully laid the wood on the altar. Then he tied up his son Isaac and laid him on the altar, on top of the wood. And then Abraham reached for his knife to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord stopped him. The angel called from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. Abraham answered, Yes. The angel said, Don't kill your son or hurt him in any way. Now I can see that you do respect and obey God. I see that you are ready to kill your son, your only son, for me. Then Abraham noticed a ram whose horns were caught in a bush. So Abraham went and took the ram. He offered it instead of his son as a sacrifice to God. So Abraham gave that place a name. The Lord provides. Even today, people say, on the mountains of the Lord, he will give us what we need. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. The angel said, You were ready to kill your only son for me. Since you did this for me, I make you this promise. I, the Lord, promise that I will surely bless you and give you as many descendants as the stars in the sky. There will be as many people as sand on the seashore, and your people will live in cities that they will take from their enemies. There will be as many people as sand on the seashore, and your people will live in cities that they will take from their enemies. Every nation on the earth will be blessed through your descendants. I will do this because you obeyed me. Now, this story came to mind when I was originally preparing this word, because when I think of how Abraham obeyed God's orders to kill his son Isaac in return for such a golden age for his city, it makes me think how little my faith or how little our faith can be in God. Because I know there's some parents here, and if God just one day, you just woke up and one day God asks you to murder your kids as a test as a test of faith, you all beg for his mercy because you would not be able to bring yourself to do it. Even you, Uncle Stephen. But I'm here to say we must have the spirit of Abraham and obey the Lord at all costs. because we never know what that obedience might get us. We just may have said no to a golden age that someone around us may have just needed. You know, we need to start understanding that our testimonies, our tests, our trials and tribulations are bigger than just us. We need to start using our prevalence of God's test as a glorification to God's name. You want to know what we need? We need people to trust God enough to send their kids through the valley of the shadow of death because they know the Lord is their light and salvation. I need people to trust the God that defeated death the first time, that he'll do it again. Especially when he asks you to send someone as precious as your children into it. Because we all say, do what you want to me, but spare my kids. But when God says, no, I want your kids, I need believers to say, okay, God, I trust you. Take my kids. I need believers to trust God too much to give up. Yeah. You know what I need? I need blind believers. I need believers that trust God even when they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I need some people to trust God to be their personal guide dog. Because for some people, seeing is believing. But when you know the God that I know, seeing goes out the window. That saying goes out the window. The saying that I know says that those who have the faith the size of a mustard seed, not those who have the eyesight of an eagle, but those who has the faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. So I need you all to trust God enough to give up on his word. I need believers to trust God enough to give up on his word, the word that we stand on. I need believers to trust the plan that God has for our purpose. Amen.
You better press, Jesse. My God. Amen. Amen. Is there any blind believers in this house that's going to trust God no matter what? When they don't even see it? When they can't understand it? Is there anybody in this house that's going to trust the Lord